Hey y'all, this is Lotus here. I'm back to document more of my spiritual journey as of late. Um, Growth happens every day. That's what I want to say right away. That growth happens daily. Sometimes it might feel like a pause is occurring, on the growth part. But now I'm learning that that's not necessarily the case. It's just that sometimes certain parts of us have to pause in order for, or have to like slow down in order for other parts of us to be worked on, like by spirit, or to, you know, do what it has to do, like, because we're not just a physical body. We are, as human beings, we are more than just physical. We're spiritual, we're mental, emotional. So I feel like, like recently I went through something like a physical pause. Um, which I feel like is, not feel like, I know it's getting back up to speed, but I had to be shut down physically in order for my mental and my emotional and my spiritual to really be prioritized, right? So yeah, I'm just flowing with the message. None of this was thought out before I got on video. I just knew I had to I felt compelled to do a recording. So yeah, I just feel like, the physical for me is getting back up to speed, still getting back up there, but yeah, growth happens every day. It's just like a plant or a tree, or anything like that. Like we don't see it growing, we don't, if you sat there to try to watch a plant or a tree or something grow, you probably lose your mind. But something's always going on beneath the surface to bring on growth that you eventually see. Like my backyard, the grass is crazy how it grows, and all the rain, because then it started raining and storming, and that grass shot up. I swear, it shot up. It shot up. Like, I got stalks back there now. Like, I'm like, what? That is crazy how growth happens, but that's how growth happens. Something is happening in regards to growth every single day. So, for myself, something is happening every single day. And where am I today? Well, first of all, today is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, yeah. May the 4th. And in regards to what I've learned as far as, spirituality and truth versus lies, and of course, now I view and understand May as the third month of the year, the astrological year, which I am now realizing is the way to go. May being the third month, starting with March. So today is 3/5/2023, which I already did the numbers. They add up to one. Sorry, they add up to five, which symbolizes change, which symbolizes basically like that energy that's going on beneath. It's like it's that type of energy going on beneath the surface. That's that catalytic type of energy that causes a catalytic type of change. And that makes so much sense because tomorrow is the full moon in Scorpio, and y'all know I'm all about the moon, and recognizing what the moon does in our lives, just like what the sun does. The moon does things too, you know. So I'm very aware of that. So the full moon's gonna be in Scorpio tomorrow. So I've been looking at it for myself. What does this look like? What does this mean? What should I be expecting? Blah 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 blah. And so I just know, as far as my spiritual journey goes, astrology, my numbers, everything tells me new catalytic change should be expected around this time. So that's what I'm expecting to receive in and to bring into my space and to my heart and my mind. Um, when I think about my journey, as far as where I am today and everything that has occurred, I mean, I've been on a spiritual journey since I was born, I know. And so, one thing that's been occurring for me really big lately, especially after being shut down physically, like after being made to like sit down and slow down and, all of that, was really one thing that's really been becoming very clear to me is the presence of ancestors. The presence of, like, I always refer to my spiritual guidance most of the time as spirit. I've referenced my ancestors, like I was just listening to a song today that I wrote and recorded a while back, and I mentioned my ancestors in that song, like something about my ancestors don't. Oh yeah, I said my ancestors don't play about me. Ain't nothing funny. um But just like I'm learning just the significance of the presence of ancestors in my life, and um just how, like, when I reflect, right, because I grew up, I was raised like I was raised religiously, so I was raised going to church, and there always was something I was searching for more in regards to my religious experience, in regards to my relationship with God. Like there was just always so many freaking holes and missing pieces. One of the things that I never really appreciated or liked or received or vibed with, like, never, as long as I was a part of this family, that I'm gonna let you know, I'm sorry, but I don't consider myself a part of that family no more. Like, I literally have mentally, emotionally, I've been physically detached myself, but spiritually, like lately, been more so even detaching myself from that family. And I'm primarily speaking of, when I say that, I mean the family I was adopted into. So as long as I was in that family, which was over, now that it's over, which was over, I'm 33. I was put into the home when I first was 4 years old, going on 5 from what I can remember, like summertime when I was 4, so I turned 5 in January. So okay, so we talking about like 30 years, almost a little less than that, because I'm 33, 30. Oh, well, 33 minus 3, yeah, about 30 years. Mm-hmm. Like 29, 30. Mm-hmm. So, uh, as long as I was with that family, which I've been separating myself physically, but like the emotional has been taking some time. But as of today, baby, it's done. Like that whole phase of my life, done and over with, because I mean, so many different reasons. I'm sure I'll go into detail in more videos, because my spiritual journey has been a lot related to my healing process and unlearning and relearning process as I come up out of that family dynamic in all these different ways that I exist, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So as long as I was a part of that family, and as long as I was going to church with that family, and I mean church on Sunday, I'm talking Sunday school in the morning sometimes before the church service actually begins. Sometimes Sunday school, church service, and an extra service. Bible studies on Wednesdays, choir rehearsal on Thursdays, sometimes events and stuff on Saturdays. Like, as long as I did that for, which was several years, over a decade, if not over two. As long as I did that, I was never vibing with this type of thing that would occur regularly, which was, we go to church, right? Have a Sunday service, which, if I'm in the sanctuary listening to the service, and I say that because sometimes I would actually be in the back leading youth classes, like taking care of the little kids or leading classes for the little kids. Sometimes I'd be doing that. Sometimes I'd be helping to serve in other types of ways where I wasn't in the sanctuary. But when I would be in the sanctuary and I would be, learning along with the what's being taught, I took that seriously. I took that seriously like I did school. I take that very, very seriously. I would be following along, making sure I had my Bible. I'd be taking notes, So coming up out of that experience on Sundays, almost every Sunday, to be going home with my family and getting right back into some negative energy, some low vibing energy, some abusive energy, some manipulative energy, some lying ass energy, some false ass energy that wasn't actually even trying to cultivate the energy that we were just vibing in and relating in at the church. That's one thing that always have grounded my fucking gears. I gotta tell you. And it's crazy. I told you I didn't have a plan of what to talk about today. This is just what's coming to me. That shit would grind my fucking gear. I hated that. And I never got used to it. Ever. I never got used to that because I never understood how in the hell we could be at church talking about God and talking about the love of Jesus and talking about what we supposed to be doing as so-called Christians. And I said so-called Christians, to be elevating ourselves spiritually, or to be helping to elevate other people spiritually, knowing that Jesus Christ was a symbol of love personified. Like, the Bible says it itself. God is love. God is spirit. God is love. That's all you need to know. And if God came down in the form of man named Jesus, who became the Christ, who we are also to be striving to become, how do we leave a place where we're worshiping, which that we ain't even what we called to do, right? But where we're worshiping this being or this God, and this energy and this lifestyle, and talking about going after this path and going and following this path and the path less traveled. How are we doing? Baptizing people, so-called trying to save other people. Oh, the doors of the church is open. Come up to the front, be prayed for, get sign up for baptism, say you believe in Jesus Christ. How do we leave that vibe and that energy that is supposed to be so important that we do this every fucking Sunday and then some, and go home, where we sleep, where we eat, where we live together as a portion of this church family, and get cussed out as little kids, maybe get hit in ways that go beyond disciplining as kids. As a child, how do I go home and witness the lying and the stealing and the manipulating and the abuse and the devilish ass activity, the evil, the hell, and the hellish activity? How is that supposed to be okay? And so today, as I reflect on everything I've been going through in regards to being spiritually attacked and learning that my history is smeared and smothered and has been marinated in sorcery over my life by the very people who I've called family, and then some extended family, some friends, some lovers, as I reflect, I'm like, now I'm like, it all makes sense. It makes sense. Every shit is clicking back to back to back, y'all. It makes sense why these folks never cared. I'm talking about these adults who were the adults in my life when I was a child. The parents, the older siblings, the leaders, those supposed to be the role models, the pastors, the what they call the deacons and first ladies, all them. It's now making so much sense how these folks could leave church, even sometimes be at church and be so wicked, but leave church as people who are trying to show up as religious leaders in the community with children under their care. Leave church. Oh, church is over. Go home and be. I'm not talking about just telling a lie. Look, we lie. We're human. We lie. Sometimes there are so many things that we do that you find that Jesus was ministering to people who are just like us, who we are just like, right, as humans. But then there's wickedness. Okay, this is what I'm talking heartless activity. Okay, I'm talking the lack of empathy. I'm talking the lack of parenting for real. Taking care of children where they're supposed to be taken care of when you've opted into not just having children and giving birth to them. Now that stuff I understand can happen by mistake. I totally get that. But then you opted into taking in more children. Opted. Not somebody came to you and was like, can you take care of my kid, my child? No, you going to look for more children to bring into your home to so-called take care of, only to mistreat, only to do so many different things that was so void of, and from my experience, but many people have done this, from my experience, void of mothering, void of loving, void of actually guiding and teaching and molding and shaping in a way where this child can grow up and possibly be great at just being a beautiful, loving, aware human being and healthy in mind, spirit, and soul and body. And look, everything makes sense now. Why? It makes sense now. Why I, as one of the younger ones, I was right in the middle. Okay, in my household, in terms of the children. I was right in the middle. There were 5 of us. Primarily, some others came and left, but dominantly there was 5 of us. I was right in the middle. So there were the two that were older than me. They were biological to my guardian, so-called. I don't even feel comfortable using that word. My parental figure. Yeah. They were biological, or are biological to her, right? And then it was me, and then it was the two younger ones that were brought in through the system. Okay? The 2 younger ones were brother and sister to each other. So I'm in the middle, just, and then, yeah. So anyway, it make it now today when I think about it. And then, okay, so not even just the 2 that's older than me, but the 2 plus the mother, plus the parent. Okay? Because it was a single parent household. Plus the parent, okay? Now it makes sense why there are moments when, okay, for example, this lady that lived around the corner from us, who eventually actually became my, I guess, she's my nephew's auntie on his father's side. Okay. She came, and she was older than me too. She was pregnant. And they had found out that she was going to have some complications with her pregnancy. She was having complications that her son might be born with Down syndrome, or like birth defects, which I do believe he was. I believe eventually he was born with uh, um, a disability or something, but she was pregnant with him. So she came asking for us to pray for her, or I guess she was, um, I don't know, she was letting my sister know, my mom, I don't know. I just remember I was like upstairs or something. And at this time, I think I was a teenager, yeah, because so that means my nephew was already born. So I must have been like 17, 16, 17. So I was called downstairs to come and pray over the woman's belly, over her son. She was pregnant. And that's just one time. There were multiple times I was the one called on to pray. Look, today I understand so much more as far as why I stood out, right? Why? Because now I'm learning more and more about myself spiritually, right? But in terms of them, why I stood out amongst them. Like, I understand why I stand out now, period, but why I stood out amongst them. The three older adults, in the house, of the household. Why I stood out even amongst them as the one to be called on to pray for somebody. Um, Now it makes sense, y'all, because what I'm learning spiritually, and as I connect more, as I'm so grateful to be able to do this, as I connect more with my soul tribe and other people just like me, if not very much more similar, people who are individuals in their spirituality, but very much aware of the higher power that exists in this world, the power of the entity and existence of source, God, the most high God, and even how that most high God differs from a lot of what we've been taught about God. There are people out here just like me who are interested in the many different the variety, let me say, the variety of resources and tools that God has provided to us um for us to learn more and get knowledge. That's actually a biblical thing, and get knowledge to in order for us to remember who we are. That is also biblical, so that we shall not perish, okay, in spirit, and be conquered and won over by those wicked people who do go to church every Sunday but for different reasons, so thus cannot pray over somebody's baby because it probably would have got shot down by lightning right there on the spot. Like, come on, y'all, for real? Like, really? I understand now because I'm learning more about who I am. I'm speaking in regards to people who do this, who do that, go to church, praise, worship, slap your kid upside the head if they ain't paying attention, slap your kid upside the head if they laughing, if they falling asleep, if they not taking it seriously. But you not taking it seriously, because this is a show for you. This is a cover for you. And you so wicked. That's why you could never pray over somebody else's baby. Like, you're the matriarch of your family unit and you couldn't do it. But I'm literally coming to this church because you make me come. I mean, after a while, of course, I'm going because I want to go. Because I was taking it seriously. But why do we go? We go because we have to. We were going because we had to. At the end of the day, the foundational reason, because we had to. If I had the choice to skip some Sundays, trust me, I would have. Shit. Okay, especially after a while of learning the space. But shit, I took solace. I experienced or received solace in a lot of things outside of home, school, church. A lot of those things really were helpful helpful escapes from home. So But just now, y'all, that I'm just like, as I'm on my spiritual journey and I'm deep in this shit, I'm deep in it. And I'm realizing why that type of stuff happened. Why that type of stuff happened for me, you know? Why couldn't it, like, not just because of who I am, but also what they were doing, what they were a part of. And I'm sorry, but this is my spiritual truth. It might involve other characters, and I used to be so worried. I used to be so worried about speaking on stuff just for the sake, just because I didn't want to hurt other characters in my story. But it's like, but at the end of the day, it's my story too. If you want to tell your part, go ahead and tell your part over there. But you know what I've been learning? I've been learning they'd rather just have me shut up. They'd rather just have me not speak. Just nobody say nothing. And I ain't never been that girl. I ain't never been that person. I've only been that when I was under the thumb, under the dictating, abusive, threatening, bullying ass thumb of my parental figure. And that was because that was out of fear. Out of fear and not wanting to anger her or dishonor her or make her see me in a negative light because I was a child under her care. Already a wounded child because I was taken from my own family. My own mom is in prison, in jail, so, or unknown. For the longest, I didn't know where she was, so listen, it's like that was when I wouldn't say anything, but I kept my feelings. I held on to them shits. I didn't just give them away, because I've always been such a sensitive being. I didn't just forget about them. I just had to keep stuff in. But as soon as I realized, okay, I had to just keep stuff in. But that was in regards to stuff that would be going on at home. So eventually, I started talking about that stuff too. But outside of that, they knew that I was a talker. I was a speaker. They knew. We'd have funerals for family members, and spirit would take over me. I always been spiritual. Spirit would take over me. The church could be packed. We always, had services at the churches, at different churches or whatever. Church could be packed, full. I don't care. Spirit taking over me. I'm going up to the podium and I'm saying something. And I'm saying something about the fact that how we all here when somebody dies, but where is everybody when we're all still here? Why do we have to congregate and get together just because somebody passed away? Spirit would take over. I had to talk. At church, very often I was moved to get up and say something about stuff. Very often. And when I would try to resist, my heart would be trying to come up out my chest because I was already spiritual. So that's a part of why I know it was me who was called on to pray for people in prayer times. Like when it came to my family unit, very often that's the way it was. But I'm talking about when it came to them. Like, so what made it also, what about them? What was going on with them? And y'all, things is just becoming more and more clear to me now. Like, I'm waking up more and more every day. That's why I say growth happens every day. I was already kind of awake, and now I'm waking up even more, reflecting and realizing shit. Like, spirit having me remember stuff. Don't forget about that. Don't forget about that. Like, I had to move away from my family from that family, because a part of the issue that I had was nobody wanted to go to family counseling. There was so much that had gone on in our family and that happened to so many of us as children, if not all of us. And parental, she kind of cuckoo, so it's just, it is always some shit eventually, and you don't want to step on the wrong egg. You got to watch out for the eggs, you know. And I often brought up, maybe we should try family counseling. I don't know, like, you know, something. Never, never. Family therapy, something. No, they rather just sweep shit under the rug and tell you to shut up. And then you better not have a frown on your face. Oh, you got a bad attitude. I was often told that when I was young, like, oh, you must just have a bad attitude or something, because I was always so expressive. So it always took so much work to not express what I was really feeling, because I always been so expressive. Like, like, you know what's going on a little bit just by looking at me, you know. So, you know, very often was told like I got a bad attitude, more so than, you know, trying to figure out like, well, what's going on, what's wrong for real. Like, so I just say that to say it all makes so much sense now, like, y'all. And then in terms of me, there were multiple times that I went to my parental with issues and problems, like, something I had experienced. Oh, and just to be like, nothing. I mean, for example, one time I was so didn't realize I was dealing with depression when I was dealing with it, right? But eventually I realized I was dealing with depression. But in the time that I'm dealing with the depression, or that I am depressed, I go to a party with my friend. I go to my friend's party, right? Um, and eventually I realized that I was depressed because my brother had been sentenced to prison um on like a life sentence, which was also like our mother. So I had already reunited with my brother. Yes, I had already reunited with my brother. Um, I had yes, I already found him. Yes, yes, because this incident happened like the day before my nephew's birthday or something like that. One of my niece, my nephew, something like that. So yeah, I was depressed because either he had been sentenced to prison or he was in jail, and I was upset because I found him when I was 21, going on 21, and he was 17. Um, and we reunited, and he was, you know, like a street dude. So he was already in and out of jail and stuff, and then eventually ended up in prison. So, you know, me just, and then I was in probably the height of my church life on my own, like away from it, like have been in school, going to church where I was at in school, which was like in college, 2 hours away from home. So anyway, like, it fucked me up. Like, that was the first thing that eventually had me questioning the existence of God, because I just thought it was I took it as such a cruel trick uh on me and my biological family. It's like I took it as such a, like, and just, I mean, eventually when my brother was actually sentenced, and I think this was, he either had been sentenced or he was in jail at this time. But, you know, I don't know, sometimes when people are sentenced, they actually were already being held anyway. So he was in jail for a while before he was actually sentenced. But even before he got put in jail and was held before getting sentenced, he was in and out. So this was sometime he was either one, it was either one of the in and outs or he had been sentenced. So I'm not aware that this has affected me the way that it is, but I do remember. So eventually I had to start putting stuff together after this incident, and I realized that I was depressed and I was coping with alcohol. Now I did not realize like I was drinking more alcohol because I was fucking depressed and that it was making me feel better, you know. But there was it's eventually I realized that I was just loving the literally just the sensation of the alcohol going down my throat. Literally, y'all. Like it was a dark time for me. So, yeah, I actually ended up becoming very desensitized to like to things I think regarding me because something happened, right? So I go to this party with my friend. Well, it was my friend's party, okay? And this is my first time. I think it was my first and last time, to be honest with you. First and last time playing shit, what is that shit called? Beer pong. Yes, beer pong, but with liquor. We played it with liquor and juice, right? So now I'm gonna be honest though with you. When I think back, I think I was drugged because I drank, yes, but it never made sense to me the way I was out, the way I was out and unconscious, like with everything that happened. Like I remember trying to pull apart everything. So this is what happened basically. So did the thing, beer pong but with liquor. Okay, so in my mind, as I'm recovering the next day, I got drunk. I got really really drunk. But I mean, I blacked out. I blacked out, y'all. Blacked out. There was this whole gap of time missing. And this is me being vulnerable and being transparent because this spiritual journey it ain't been no game. My life ain't been, life ain't a game. Life is not, people say life is a game. Not my spiritual, not my life when it comes to my spirituality. No, it ain't. So, I backed out. And y'all, when I came to, okay, I was in the bathroom because this was at so it was my friend's party at his cousin's house. Okay, I was in the bathroom. You can, I mean, you see, this is the way my mind got fucked up. This is the way my mind got fucked up growing up because as a little girl, I was already violated sexually multiple times by multiple different men across multiple years. Never protected, never avenged, never, none of that. Never felt feeling encouraged to be able to tell my own parental or none of them, my older sister, none of them, only because of what I witnessed when it came to one. Well, starting off, it was my own uh brother at the time, adoptive brother, not my biological brother, my adoptive brother, oldest child in the house. Not a child in my eyes at all. Okay. So I mean, it all started with him, who was my parental's son, you know. So and then eventually realizing when the youngest girl in the house, the youngest period in the house, actually, let me correct that, she was the youngest out of all of us, and she was a girl. When she went to her biological mother to tell that he had violated her, touched her, done something to her, it came back around because my parental, she's telling me I'm a little bit older, or maybe like it had already started with me. It had already happened, had already begun to occur with me, and went across several years, multiple years, right? So during that duration of years, within that duration of years, it happened to also the youngest. And when she often would tell me things, as if I was just an adult. So very often I felt like I could not come to her as if I was a child in need of something, because she often talked to me as if I was just another adult, as if I didn't need the type of caring and protection and all of that as a child did. So she's talking to me as if she's talking to a friend. She's telling me like, yeah, she said her mama, she told her mama this, da 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 da. The way she was talking to me was as if she didn't believe her. You know, it was as if she didn't believe her. And on top of that, I often had to witness and be a part of um this type of treatment, to witness the treatment and receive the treatment of being called fast, or being put on the spot in terms of like what we were wearing, or how we so-called moving around these older nasty ass perverted ass men. um and I mean even men that weren't even in the family or not in the family, shit, it didn't matter. Like, I picked up on all that shit, receiving the treatment, witnessed the treatment, and then of course picking up on the energies of these older women, uh, in the family, out of the family, extended family, older women who would chastise us or look down on us or judge us or just treat us very weirdly and unfairly when it came to us, our bodies, and these older nasty ass perverted ass men. Okay, so with all that inside of me, I eventually just I knew it was not an option for me to go to my parental and tell her anything about her son, what he's done to me, or what his friend did to me, or what her friend's son, nephew, did to me, or how I felt uncomfortable around my own godfather, her cousin, you know, or how this man looked at me while we was driving, walking, or whatever going, and this old man winked at me when they wasn't looking and stuff. Never could, never could. Okay, so here I don't know why. At this point, I'm older, right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What made it? I don't know. Something had me go to her because I think it was also the depression. Like, my mental was fucked up, my emotions is fucked up, and now this happened, and I'm not sure what to do about it. I'm not sure how to feel about it. I'm not sure how to feel about myself. This is what happened. I'm at the party. Apparently I black out from just too much alcohol. These days I think I might have been drugged. I think it's a very real possibility. And I don't think that was the only time, now that I think about it. When because I've been doing a lot of reflecting, y'all, and there's this one particular friend who, how come all these multiple parties, he was like a party guy, like, why was I always fucking blacking out? I drink. I drink even to this day. I drink wine, and I've drank on multiple occasions, and I didn't always black out. But here it is. So, um, yeah, I came to. When I came to, I was in the bathroom. Um, and you can say, well, I was having sex, but I was not having anything because I had been unconscious. I was not aware. I woke up, y'all. Like, that's how I felt. I felt like I woke up in the middle of literally somebody performing intercourse on me. So what is that called? That's called rape. It's called rape. And do you know that for the longest, even to this day, it is hard for me to understand that that is what was going on. Because what did I do? I internalized it. And I'm like, well, shit, I drank too much. Well, shit, oh, was he drunk too? And y'all, I was digging and everything because I'm like, nigga, I was not aware. And so it wasn't my friend, it was actually my friend's cousin. So, but I woke up. I woke up in the middle of, and so what I remembered was from when I got conscious. I was on a counter or a sink or something, and I came to, and then I immediately started reacting because I was not aware previous to that at all. I don't remember how we got into the bathroom, none of, so I come to, and I start reacting to, like, I'm like, and it's taken me a while to wait to come and realize what was going on. And y'all, I gotta be honest about this part. Initially, I'm thinking it's my friend, right? My friend who I had known since kindergarten, and at that point, I'm like 20. We like 20 something years old, and so first I'm thinking it's him, right? And so I think initially I'm calling him like, oh, so it's just like stop, or at first I'm thinking it was him, right? And I say that because there's even a softer part in my brain, like, oh, if it was him, oh, I just know he wouldn't be doing that, da 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 da. Like, I know him. Like, I didn't know his cousin like that, right? And mind you, um, I don't even think that matters. How about to say I wasn't a virgin? That don't matter. I didn't. I went there with my friend. Like, my friend is the one who picked me up. Okay, so now this is his cousin who I knew, but the person I referred to as my friend is the other person. I wasn't never referring to his cousin as my friend. That's my friend's cousin. I was aware of who he is, who he was, but anyway. See, that's what the fucked up, the fucked upness does. It makes you explain shit that don't even need to be explained. So anyway, yes, y'all, I came to, and then when I realized, when I realized it wasn't my friend, I started like fighting dude off, and I'm like, I don't remember exactly what I was saying. I just remember what happened because eventually he realizes, I guess, that I'm awake now and that I'm not. This wasn't consensual, It wasn't consensual, and I remember like people kind of coming into the bathroom or something. Mind y'all, I did investigation after this because I'm trying to approach the situation as fair as possible, but not. I mean, when I think back, I wasn't my advocate. I wasn't an advocate for myself. I was, and again, like I said, my upbringing to that point shaped me and made me this way, to where I'm trying to talk to dude, like, and talk to him, like, what happened, because I was not aware until we were until it was already going on and I'm in the bathroom with you, and and I literally, y'all, I was on the phone with him, talking with him, and he was somewhat helpful or whatever, because I eventually got his number from my friend, and I was talking to him like, um was there a condom used, like, and what happened, like, do you remember how it got up to that point, because I don't. And was there people in the bathroom? Like, was it just, I'm trying to figure it out because this was not something I signed up for. I didn't sign up for that. That's not me. That's not even how I roll. Right? So, and I'm trying to figure out, was it other people in the bathroom? Like, because I remember feeling like people was coming in or going out or what. After I came to, just, it was like blotches of memory, right? So I literally had this nigga on the phone, like, trying to have him help me figure out what happened, and I'm trying to figure out if he actually was aware and I wasn't, or was it just a book? Like, how did I appear? Because I don't, I don't remember that. I don't remember. Like, to this day, I don't know. How did I end up in the bathroom? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was I asleep? Like, so, so, I mean, like I said, it could have been really just the alcohol. It's not like I got drunk all the time. These days, when I reflect back on moments, I think and wonder, was I ever drugged and didn't know it? Okay. So anyway, I come to, right, and whatever I start doing, it stops what's going on because I'm not aware. Eventually, I start crying. And I remember because um I had to pee. That's what woke me up. Yes. Or that's what, made me come to because I had to pee. So, um, I actually, like, this was so fucking crazy. Like, I remember actually peeing on the floor, like, because I think I, like, went to the, I think I told him, like, I had to, look, I don't remember the details. I just remember I started acting in a way that it was not, that it became clear, like, oh, I guess on his end, like, oh, you know, um, I start crying. I go pee. I don't make it to the toilet. I remember because I was slumped. Or I was what you call it, crouched down because I was crying next, I guess next to the toilet or something like that, crouched down crying, and I started to pee like right there on the floor. So I remember that part, because at this point I'm awake and I'm aware and I'm upset and I'm sad and I'm mad and I'm crying. So I remember he was like, you want me to get, he said his cousin's name, my friend, and I'm like, yeah. And then that's when I remember I was like, I thought it was him. Like when I came to or whatever, like my initial thoughts was that it was him who, I don't know, I guess I don't know if I would have been more okay with it or whatever like that, because that was my friend. Like we were already like, had a connection or whatever, but like in terms of his cousin, he was kind of like a stranger, so like I didn't know him like that. So anyway, anyway, y'all, like, yeah, I'm peeing on the fucking floor, I'm crying, I'm just feeling like, you know, just like I didn't consent to that. I didn't know what was going on. Like it was as if I woke up. Okay. So eventually I ended up they put me in the bed because I was obviously too drunk to go anywhere. I guess everybody was drunk and drinking, I don't know. So he eventually found my friend, asked me like if I wanted him to come see me or come see about me or whatever, and I'm like, yeah. So I go lay down, I'm crying, boo-hooing, like, because I'm just like, what the fuck. So I don't know how to feel about the shit, right? Because I'm like, is it my fault? Was that my fault? Is that rape? I think technically, yeah, but I don't think he would do that to me. But I don't know him like that, you know? I don't think he would do that. Whatever. So I'm sick. I'm sick, right? So next day, that's why I said it was like either my nephew's birthday or like my sister's friend's kid's birthday or something. It was kids for kids, because we was at this little place where it was kiddie place. I'm so sick, not just from the alcohol, right? I'm not just hungover, but I'm sick emotionally. Like, what the fuck? Like, I ain't never nothing happened like that. Like on that level, like that, like to where I'm feeling like I could have stopped this, and on top of that, I'm wondering, how does my friend see me? Because I hope he didn't think that I was just down with this. Like, that's my friend for real. So I'm like, what, what do I do? How am I supposed to feel? I don't know how to feel. So I'm sick from the alcohol. I'm sick from the experience. And so I'm so sick. My stomach, again, it wasn't just the alcohol. This shit was, my emotions was fucked up. So I'm that bad that I'm in the car. I can't really enjoy the little kid party because I'm in the car. Like I don't know how to feel. I feel sick. My stomach is in knots. I need to talk to somebody. That was why I went to her. That was why I went to my parental, because I needed to talk to somebody. So yep, that's what I did first. First I went to her because we got home And again, my stomach is just in a knot. It's in a huge ass knot or multiple knots, and I'm just like, I'm just, I don't know. I don't know. Could I be pregnant? Am I I don't, how long was that going for? I don't know. Like, am I on camera somewhere? Like, there were people, sounds like people might have been in the bathroom as well. Like, what? You know? This ain't what I do. This ain't me. This, right. So I go to my parental because I got to talk to somebody. And I'm thinking, well, who can I trust? You know, like, she's a woman, right? Mind you, yeah, I'm fucked up from not realizing, you know, from the upbringing, what it might already turn out to be like. I'm just in need. I'm a young woman in need. Y'all, I go to her. Um, I remember she was laying on her bed, okay? She was laying on her bed. I'm in the threshold of her door. I often went to her in that way, threshold of the door, like standing at the threshold of the door. And I'm trying to tell her what happened. And I'm telling her, I told her. And she was like, she literally just said, what did she say? It was something so, it was like, I wish I could remember the exact words, but it was so fucking, and what type of thing. Like, it was that type of thing. I just want the fucking verbatim. She was like, so what's wrong? Or something like that. So what's wrong? What's the problem? Or something. Basically, like, she didn't give a fuck. No advice, no care, no concern, no, you know, it was dry. It wasn't, you know, so I'm already battling, like, what the fuck did I do wrong? Now, obviously, okay, in my mind now, I drank too much. It just got out of hand. But I'm just like, yo, like, don't, it didn't make sense to me. But then again, I wasn't that much of a drinker. So now I'm like, I think I just blacked out. But I'm trying to tell her, like, you know, I don't feel good about it. Like, it I mean, I shouldn't have to explain it too much, though, right? I'm just thinking, if I was a mom, I don't gotta be a mom. If I was a friend, I'm already an auntie, I'm already a big sister, just another woman. Y'all, now look, I done had therapy about the shit. I remember I told my therapist, when I'm telling my therapist, eventually, this is years later, right? Talking to my therapist about it, and I'm choking up, crying, talking about the story, right? She let me know, you know, she helped me process that, and she definitely validated me. Like, that was definitely something wrong. Something was wrong there with that woman, that lady, like, in the way that she responded to you about that, you know, like, she's like, no wonder you have struggles with boundaries, because that type of shit right there. She was the best therapist I ever had. So I've come a fucking long way. I was choked up crying about that. This was literally going on 2 years ago that I was talking about that in therapy and a whole bunch of other stuff. Right before I decided, shortly before I decided to move away from the family, right? So I've healed. That's why I'm able to talk about it now the way I'm able to talk about it and a lot of things. But the memory, not even just the memory of it, just the fact that, I mean, you know, that it happened. I'm learning now, it's like, don't forget that type of shit. Because people have shown you how they are, who they are, how they care about you, how they're able to love you and not. You can't forget about that. You can forgive people. Let them go. That's what forgiving. I'm learning that too. Forgiveness. Letting people go. Letting them go. Detaching them. Cutting them away from you, off from you. That's what forgiveness does. It happened. You can't take it back. Shit, never even apologize. So look, this is all me. And that's what I'm learning. Forgiveness is all for you. It is all for you. But you better not forget shit. Cause that shit will have you right back into them type of things, looking for that love, looking for that validation, looking for that support, that type of care and concern, and all that you've been missing and was missing at the time. And before that, you'll be right back in the palm of their fucking hands, in the back of their pockets. You feel me? They are right in their back pocket, in the back of their pocket, right in their back pocket. You know, falling for the same type of shit, falling into the same type of shit with them. Don't forget, but yeah, forgive, and that's for you. Forgiveness can be so fucking selfish, and now that I know that, hell yeah, for everybody forgiving, cause I gotta take care of me. Okay, y'all forgiving? Go that way. Leave me alone. But that was a pivotal moment for me. That now look, like I said, I handled it the best way that I could at the time, right? So I'm trying to talk to her about it. We did the little conversation, whatever. Highly disappointed in the way that she came about it. It was nothing, no. I must have shut down in the middle, probably shortly after I began to talk to her about it, plus still being hungover, right? Plus still being hungover, so I guess that's partially probably why I don't remember the whole conversation. But I just know the shit was dry as hell. It was not supportive. It was not helpful. It was a moment. So what I did, I go call my friend. And I think I had already called him. I had already called my friend, or at least text him. Called or text him, because I remember I was in a car when the little kitty party was going on, and I'm in a car, and I talked to him then. But then, yes, I talked to my parental, and then I hit my friend up again, like, hey, can I get your cousin's number? Because I need to know exactly what happened. Like, how did it even get to that point? I don't remember. So I had to call dude, and he remembers so much more than I did. Now, I'll tell you, at the time, I didn't recognize that as like, oh, so he was more aware. But the way I'm thinking in my mind, for real, to be honest, is how did he perceive me? Like, how was I showing myself to be? Like, I would have needed to see myself on camera or something. Like, was I looking so aware and just coherent, or was you just not as drunk as me, but I had to have like a couple of conversations with him because I was just so worried, like, about my physical health, everything. So I was asking him, like, I want to say, did we use a condom? But I can't say we, because I wasn't a part of I don't feel like I was a part of making that happen, but I asked him, like, was there a condom used? He said yes. So actually, and of course at the time, I'm not handling this. I'm having this conversation with this guy by myself. It wasn't like she was with me. It wasn't like, nothing like that. It wasn't like, well, let me talk to his parent, and nothing like that. When I think about it now, shit's fucked up, right? Look, so but yeah, so this just the fact that he said there was a condom used, like, okay, so you were definitely much more aware than I was. But he was breaking shit down, like, you don't remember we was dancing and then we started kissing and all. I was like, no, bro, I don't remember none of that. Like, what was crazy was and this the part where I also was hurting me, because my friend, I had feelings for my friend. Like, we were friends since kindergarten. He was a good guy. Like, in my eyes, like, for what I knew, he was a good guy, right? This was my friend. Like, we played basketball together. We often went to church together, went to school together. Like, we did a lot together growing up. Never a relationship, never even a kiss. not at that point, you know. So I'm like, again, I was worried like he might have thought that I'm having feelings for his cousin and stuff. I don't. Like, I was out of my mind. I was literally out of my mind. So I'm having to, basically investigate, do my own little fucking investigation. So I asked dude, like, was there a condom used? Like, was there people in the bathroom? Like, I thought I heard people coming in and out of the bathroom or something like that. Like, and I'm like, how, what, when did things even begin, And also what's crazy is I remember my friend, even though I had feelings for him, that's why I say he's my friend, because we didn't have a thing going on. I remember he actually was with a girl. Like, it was some girl that came and she was like sitting on his lap and stuff. That's why I say we was only friends, even though basically I had like secret feelings for him or whatever. So, um, so when dude was like, "You don't remember us kissing?" I'm like, "Hell no!" Like, I didn't come there to kiss on no dude. Like, if we was there and say my friend was to, say if we at the party and me and my friend was to start having a conversation and he was to be like, I'm interested in you, I would have been a yes. That's where I was. I wasn't looking to be kissing on no other dudes, especially not his cousin. So I'm over here like, no, I don't remember that. Like, I would never signed up for that. You know what I mean? Like, even if he was to be with another girl, like, we was homies. So, there was that. And then on top of that, even if I was to be talking to somebody else, I start talking to somebody else, it wouldn't have been his cousin. I just wasn't signing up for it. So when dudes like, you don't remember us kissing? No, I don't remember us kissing. We was dancing and then we started kissing. And I'm like, nope, sorry, love. I don't remember none of that. I don't. So it was crazy. He's telling me, that's what was happening. So apparently I appeared coherent enough, I guess, where he thought the shit was consensual. Unfortunately, I wasn't aware. So it's hard for me to tell him like how I appeared. Like, you couldn't tell because I don't remember how it was. Except just when I came to, I'm crying. So, or I started crying. So, anyway, so that happened. So I had to have conversations with him just to figure out, like, and eventually I went to the doctor and all that stuff. I was fine. But I tell that story because of the fact that, like, I had gone to my, parental, and that was the response that I had received from her. So, but again, also, it was like that wasn't the first time that she had a lackluster response, to something like that with one of her girls, one of her daughters. You got 3 of them, basically, lady, coming to her with something in terms of, hey, this happened to me, this sexual thing occurred, and what am I supposed to do? So I don't even remember how I got into talking about the story, but you know, that's just one of the many things that, like, I think back on now, and I'm like, it all kind of makes sense now, because how were we such a religious, it was all religious. I don't know, y'all, but I don't even, in the way I speak about it now and think about that moment and other moments. Oh, because I was bringing that up as an example, right? It was like, for instance, because it was something I was talking about in general, and then I went into that as for instance. But I will say that eventually as well, years after that, I eventually got up the courage, and not even just the courage, but it was like the you want to call it a beast or what, something inside of me that was like, Antoinette, if not now, then when it came to me finally talking about what I had gone through while in her house at the hands of her son, with no protection and under her neglectful eye, or blind eye, or what, I eventually went to this woman telling her I was 28 years old. 28. Eventually had to open up. It was already a situation, already a heated moment. And I'm on 10, 20, 30. I'm on. Right? And she pissed me off. She had pissed me the fuck off. Okay. I was pissed. I was so pissed off. Ooh, I was pissed off. Ooh, she had me mad. Ooh, she had me so mad, y'all. I was mad. What was we talking about? Oh, I know, because I was already silent. It was already something that had happened. Yeah, and so I'm already on silent. I'm living under her roof again. I'm back home, back, under her. But that shit didn't last for long. After this situation, I'm looking for another place to live. I had gone to school, all that stuff. So I had moved back because I had gotten a job back home, like LA area. I'm 20 or what's that? Like 2 hours away from where I was at before for school and work. Got this like dream job in my eyes. So I was staying back at the house for in between time while I save up money and go get back on my own, right? So I don't know how long did it last that I was there. It probably was like 2 months or something like that, going on 3. So, but y'all, ooh, yeah, we had a moment. She pissed me off. So I was in my silent treatment type shit, like not even knowing how to interact with her. But I had set up this, before we had that moment, I set up this weekly thing with her where we would have wine, share some wine, after church, in her, on her couch in her living room. Okay, so it was supposed to be a thing to where it would assist us in like connecting and stuff. That's just, I always just want to do stuff like that, with my people. Like, just set up things so that we can vibe for real, connect for real. Like, I have mostly been away for a long time, but always realized like we had an interesting, weird relationship. And I just wanted to intentionally build with her, grow, heal. So I set up this thing for us to have some wine with each other every Sunday. So it'd be like, we just sit, chill on the couch, talk, have some wine. So we did like a few weeks in a row. So then it was this thing going on. My sister was having a baby. She was having a baby shower. I was able to be like the lead of, putting the baby shower together, which I was happy to do. But then the shit ended up being so fucking stressful, primarily because of our parental. And then other people, like it was just a dysfunctional family. So she started just stressing me the fuck out, right? And parental over here, Mother Dear, she ain't helping. She the worst factor, actually. She's the worst part of the whole equation, okay? But I'm over here trying to be daughter dearest, okay? And having to intervene on shit. Like, other people in a part of the group, a part of the baby shower group is dropping out because of her. And I'm loyal. I'm sticking it out, but I'm stressed the fuck out, right? Like, and dealing with her, and then, oh God, goodness gracious, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So she just pissed me off. She just really pissed me off. So what happened? I pissed me off. Y'all, I was pissed off. Like, ooh. I was so pissed off. Look, at this point, the older I get, the more bold I get, right? I already was a speaker. I already, just found moments and pockets where I could truly express myself. And where I felt like I couldn't, I wouldn't. But shit, when I felt like I could, I did. So the older I got, the more pockets I found, and the bigger those pockets got. Okay, ain't nobody shutting me up. So, oh goodness, we just had it was a moment. Oh, it was a moment. And I just felt so disrespected and like, oh, it was just some gaslighting. When I think back on it, it was just a moment of just some ugly ass gaslighting and just, it was just, oh, and I'm like, are you whispering in this girl's ear about me in front of my face? And they gonna turn around and say, well, it ain't like I was whispering about you. Bitch, that's exactly what you did. Like, it ain't like I was whispering about you. And so this is already after multiple moments of them both. Her, I felt the way I would see it, she would be recruiting my sister to come and gang up on me about something. Often happens. So this moment here, when I'm over here doing for you over here and helping you do for her, look, I wasn't having it. Ooh, I wasn't having it. Nope. All them times where I was silent and afraid and, wanting to just honor. I don't want her to see me like this, like that. Fuck all that. That moment. Woo. We was in the kitchen, y'all. Look, my cousin was there. I was a little inebriated. I'm like, no. Like, I'm clearly showing that I'm not happy. Like, y'all got me fucked up right now, right? So, and mind you, I wasn't even sending that energy really to my sister because too often, no matter what she would do, she could do no wrong. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. Like, they put a spell over me or some shit. Because all my life so far, up until most recently, I'm like, she could do no. Like, even when she do wrong, it don't matter. I forget. Not no more. Okay, so woo. All right, so listen. That moment's happening in the kitchen. I remember it was related to the baby shower. I'm already stressed the fuck out. This is a dysfunctional shit. I don't like it. Right? I go silent. I ain't talking to nobody. I'm still gonna do for my sister what I said I'm gonna do. But you, woman, I ain't. Don't fucking talk to me. I'm on silent, right? And it was probably a couple of days or something like that. But I'm at the house when I'm looking for another place to live. I'm like, this, I ain't gotta deal with this. I don't have to, right? So I'm upstairs in the room, right? She calling me downstairs with a glass of wine because it was Sunday and we supposed to have our weekly wine. Fuck that shit. You done lost that privilege with me. So I come downstairs because she calling me. And I come down, she got the glass extended to me. My glass extended to me, right? I'm not having it, right? So I come downstairs, go sit in the chair. She on the couch. I don't, she, I just wanted to talk to you. Wanted to talk. You ain't been talking. And I don't know, like I'm, so I'm being honest while still being calm, polite, and respectful and all that. I'm trying to be honest a little bit. Like, I ain't really been in that mood. Like, whatever. So she's like, she's trying to get me to talk. So she's like, I want to hear, like, what's going on? Like, what's the issue? What do we need to talk about? And I tell her, I said, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if I get real honest about what's really all coming up inside of me, because that moment was just a trigger. If I get real honest about everything that I really feel like is going on up inside of me that I really got a problem with, I'm like, I don't think you'll be able to handle it. And I told her that. Look, because spirit took over. When I told you spirit take over, when we at the funeral, spirit take over. At church, spirit take over. Here it is, finally, spirit taking over. And spirit like, if not now, then when, Antoinette? If not now, then when? If not now, then when? It's your time, baby. It's your moment. She initiated this shit. Give it to her. What is the finish her? Do it. If not now, then when? That's what I was hearing inside. So look, I had already gone to therapy multiple times for my trauma. Talking to therapists about things that I could never talk to her about, right? So boom. So she pressed me. She like, well, what is it? What is, tell me, da, 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 da. And I'm getting pissed because I'm like, I know you can't handle shit. That's why you don't talk about shit. You don't talk about anything real. Like we've attempted to have real conversations before, and I literally was told before, if not that day, probably another. No, it was that one. It was that day where I was like, okay, because she's like, well, what is? Well, tell me that what is? And I'm now all the whole shit about respect and honor you and that I always been riding, prioritize my gratitude for you over anything else, out the fucking window, because you really been disrespecting me. And it wasn't even just that whole moment in the kitchen. There were other moments too, and it was like everything was just coming up to the surface. Like you choose to humiliate me in front of people, whenever it's just something helpful for you, like you and your own emotional shit, you will put me on a humiliating display because this is how you choose to process your shit. You do that by humiliating me, probably the person who has your back more than probably anybody. Maybe your daughter, maybe we can contend there, but in regards to bitch fighting for you, maybe even going off on somebody for you, that would be me, not her, because that ain't even her energy. That would be me. Okay. So now I done had it, man. I done had it. And I'm like, all that shit out the fucking window. This is about me right now. This is about me. So I told her, I said, I don't think you'd be able to handle it. To be honest with you, I don't even think you'd be able to handle it. And she like, well, so tell me, well, tell me. I said, well, tell me. And I'm like, well, is you gonna listen? And that was weird. I knew I was breaking free because I literally said, well, is you gonna listen? I did it like that because she just, well, tell me then. Let's talk. But she not shutting up so that I could actually talk. So I'm like, was you gonna listen? I never would disrespect her in tone or anything like that, like on purpose or, or carelessly or not. Like, respect for her was of top fucking priority in my life for all those years. Listen, right? So I'm like, eventually, it's coming. I got this ball in my throat. And it ain't out of fear of like, well, what is she going to do in response to me? I don't want to hurt the lady. I don't want to hurt her with the ugly truth. The ugly truth of, the way I've been with you, lady, you ain't even deserved for me to be this way with you. You ain't came to my defense as a mother should. You ain't came to my protection check, help me out in these many different ways during all of this time, which includes this great portion of your son mistreating, mishandling, violating me for several years in a row. Where were you? And it's like, what she said? She said, after I mentioned that part, because I know I said a whole lot. After I mentioned that part, which was the hardest part to say, to get up out, the whole time I got this huge ass block in my throat, which now that I know about throat chakra stuff, that shit was very real. Somebody prayed some prayers, some strong ass prayers, or put a spell on me or something to block me from speaking such hard truths. That it wasn't just me feeling hurt and pain. That was an entire throat chakra blockage that was planted as a seed and grown over time by not just things that I will witness and treatment that I will receive, but magic. Okay, y'all, literally people doing, praying, whatever to make me that way, to where I would not speak my truth. It hurt for me to say what I had to say in that moment, but I said it. So when I said it, y'all, And this is why the blockage was put on. Not so that they didn't want to, not, oh, I'm going to pray that she never speaks on this because I don't want to feel bad. No. Do you know why that was put on? Now I feel like I'm channeling. You know why that was put on me? That hex was put on me. The prayers were prayed on me. However the fuck she did it. And others too, because there was a fucking family disease. Extended family members going through the same thing. It was not just in our unit. But do you know why? It was because once my truth would be spoken, everybody's ugly truth would start being revealed. Because guess what happened after that? I'd say that, right? One of the most hardest truths I've ever spoken to this woman, if not the hardest. She says, well, are you saying that we knew? That's what she said. Well, are you saying that we knew? I'll never forget it. Will I forgive her? Sure, you're forgetting. Will I ever forget it? No, because that's some cold ass shit for real. To come out of a person's mouth who claims herself to be somebody's mother. Some cold ass shit for real. Are you saying that we knew? What do you want me to do? Do you want me? This is more. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to? Because he's in prison now. At that time and now, by that point he's in prison, right? For similar activity out in the streets. Became a pimp. Yeah, messing with little. Okay, look. I could go on for days. One day this shit gonna be a movie. But listen. So she's like, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to talk to him? You know, trying to just put it on him now, right? Even though she said, are you saying that we knew? Which basically, girl, lady, all you had to say was that we knew and don't nobody care. Or I knew and I don't care. Or I knew and I put a whole spell on you so that you would never say nothing about the shit. But here you go. You know, so I prayed every day that these secrets would never come, you know. Type of shit you see on TV for real. Yeah. That's what she really wanted to say. Okay. But yep, that was the response. So that was that truth that came out, because basically let me know, bitch, you knew. You know you knew. And even if you didn't know, you suspected. It ain't even know if you didn't know, because you knew that the little girl came at one point talking about shit. What'd you do? Disregard. I came to you talking about shit that happened outside of this home, but with other people. Disregard. And then you see what he did out in the streets with a whole bunch of other females, and including minors. You never came back into the home being like, did anything ever happen with any of y'all? Nothing. 3 girls up under your roof, under this man, younger than this man, smaller than this man, weaker than this man. This guy. Okay, y'all, so I'm pretty sure that the way I got into telling them 2 experiences and examples, I mean, I don't remember where I started off at, but what I'm trying to tell y'all is where I'm at in my journey, right? I'm just reflecting. I've been reflecting and growing and also realizing all of the shit that I have transmuted and am transmuting in order to move forward. And as I've been moving forward, it's been happening all over these years that I've been transmuting all of this and basically alchemizing all of it. And, you know, I'm so grateful to Spirit and to my ancestors and Father God and Mother Goddess and the ultimate greatest Most High ever. And I really wish I could remember what led me into those parts of this discussion, but I don't think it really matters. Like, you heard whatever I said, you heard it. And, you know, I've healed a lot. Because the way I'm able to talk about them shits today, them moments today, y'all, with laughs and shit, like, and these ain't laughs that's hiding tears. I've cried the tears. I have cried. Oh, have I cried? But I'm not going to cry no more. Listen. And this those were experiences of that eventually led me, that in addition to other things, okay, even beyond that, because that wasn't the last time I spoke to that lady. There was probably one more significant interaction that I had with her that same year before we cut it. I ain't seen her since then. 2008. 2018. Yeah, because I was 28. It was shortly after that. We had the baby shower, of course. I was sticking everything, sticking. But I had to observe her. You know, I had to stay in observance of how she was behaving after that conversation. Because, of course, she tried to end the conversation with tears and talking about, we love you, you know, all that bullshit, right? That I had the nerves to kind of somewhat take in. But then spirit wasn't letting me really, like, eat that shit up for real. Not for real. I was pissed the fuck off. Pissed off, right? I think I remember hearing her crying in her room downstairs. But even then, spirit was like, nah, you need what you need, and she need what she needs, okay? Truth must be spoken, period. Truth must be heard. Truth must be received and accepted and known, okay? So it was, the baby shower wasn't far after that. So we had the baby shower. That shit was weird. The way it came together and happened, it was so fucking weird. Because it was like, obviously, there had been communication going on about things for the baby shower that I was not even included in. So what the fuck was the point of me being in the so-called lead to lead this shit? As much work and shit that I've been doing, as much stress that I've been experiencing with dealing with y'all with this shit. We get to the baby shower. There was setup and decoration, all types of shit that I was not even aware of. And I'm like, weird. And it's like, my pride and ego ain't that big to make to where, oh, I didn't know about this, but I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on here. You know what I mean? Like, I was the main person. How am I the main person in charge of the shit? Everybody's coming through me, going through me. I'm collecting people's money. How is that all happening? And I don't know about this huge decoration setup, this and that. So much that I was unaware of. And it was like, if I would have known that somebody else was also taking the lead, it would have been so helpful for us to be able to work more together or something like that. Like, it was crazy, y'all. It was weird. So today, again, like I said, I think back on things and I'm just like, there's always been some underlying, underhanded shit going on in my now former family that included, and I think had a lot to do with like energy harvesting. And I'm gonna tell you, it's at 1:33. Oh, just whew. Yep, I'm gonna tell you. that was an angel number. I'm gonna tell you. Because I had a dream. I had a dream when I was younger. I had a dream that, okay, I had it, because mind you, I'm transparent, whatever. I was a virgin till I was 18. 18. Yep. Pretty much grown in my eyes right now. I'm grown. I was a virgin till I was 18 years old, okay? So I wasn't doing none of that. I wasn't in that activity or whatever when I was younger, like under 18. Of course, there was other little things. You know, I had little boyfriends here and there, you know, kissing, maybe some heavy petting, whatever. But there was no way I could be pregnant before 18, okay? So why did I have a dream before 18, okay? Why did I have a dream before I was even 18, before I was anywhere near there? Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I was young. So I talk about this now because I know my dreams are more than just dreams. They're messages. They're communication to me from up above, from within, okay? So now I gotta remember when I had the dream. Okay, yes. I was really young. Because in the dream, we're at our second house that I lived at with them. So it started out in Compton, and we started out at one house in Compton, and eventually we moved across the street. Okay. But it's still very young. Those are still very early years, elementary years. Okay. We were in Compton all of elementary, and then partially in Long Beach at the end of my elementary time, like 5th grade, coming out of 5th grade. Okay, so second house, yes, second house. I did not have this dream way later in life. I was still this age range. So elementary had to be between the ages of, so second house meaning post 6, after 6. I don't remember exactly when we moved. Oh no, okay, no, we moved in the 3rd grade. I was in the 3rd grade. I remember because I was tired as shit. And I remember falling asleep in class and my teacher coming to wake me up, and I just started crying because I was so tired. And I was in 3rd grade. That was with Miss Gross. So okay, so it was after 3rd grade or during sometime 3rd grade, between 3rd and 5th grade. Between 3rd and 5th grade, which means between, what ages is that? Like 8, 7, 8, and 10, 11. Okay, so young. All right, still very young. Why am I having a dream about me possibly getting pregnant? Like, the dream was I'm on the counter in the kitchen. So I'm a little girl. I'm gonna remind you, when I was in elementary school, I wasn't like always a small kid, but I'm a little girl. But I'm on the counter. Something in my mind, in my spirit, like ancestors talking to me. This is the most important piece right now of this whole story, even including everything else. Because look, y'all, I'm healed. Like, I've come a long freaking way. Like, even though it's just the way I've been talking about all this stuff, I'm like, damn, girl, you done came a long way. Props to you. Yes, and gonna go further. Trust. Because this is only the beginning. It's a new beginning, new paths. Okay, new heights and new levels, which also may include new motherfucking devils. Okay, but listen, Spirit literally said this is probably the most important piece of this whole thing. I'm on the counter in the kitchen. Okay, so now think back to what I was talking about at first with the religious shit, the religious confusion. Why is we going to church and everything cool? Everything's like this at church, and then we get to home and everything's like, I feel like we just came back to hell. Like, how do we do this every Sunday? Like, what is this? This does not make any sense to my soul, to my spirit, no matter how long it was going on, right? So then I started realizing, or now that I'm reflecting, oh, we got some real wicked people out here that really go to church every Sunday as a cover. Very intentional cover. It's like somebody being rich and, not telling nobody, I don't know, working a job. Like, intentional cover. Okay? So, most important piece. Okay? Oh, spirit. Wow. Oh my gosh. This part makes me more emotional than even the other stuff I just talked about. Just because of today, what I realized that it means. I want to say, it's crazy because I want to say what it most likely means. But Spirit say, no, what it means, baby. What it means. Y'all, okay. In the dream, I'm on the counter. Okay? Apparently, I'm pregnant. I'm a little girl. 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade. Okay? Probably not even 5th. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a gnat. They like coming and going, and I swear I ain't even been seeing them. Now I'm on this video, and now they start appearing again. But it did just rain again recently, and it's kind of wet outside now. So anyway, what was I saying? Okay, yes, 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade, and I want to say 3rd or 4th, because 5th grade. By 5th grade, I ballooned. I ballooned up. Before 5th grade, I felt like I was still kind of smaller. And I just remember feeling like a small little girl. I mean, I guess I would have felt that way anyway because I was a little girl, but I just remember feeling like a small little girl, which was before 5th grade. Okay. 5th grade, I ballooned up. I was a big 5th grader. I was. But I had a reason why, multiple reasons. But anyway, in the dream, I'm on the counter and my parental, is like performing surgery on me to take out an egg, or not even just an egg, but now it's like an unborn baby, basically. But in my mind, I remember thinking, or in my dream, I remember kind of envisioning it. Like when I think about the dream, I envision what she's taking out of me is an egg, like I'm a fucking chicken or something. Which, damn, y'all, wow, I never really thought about it like that before. Cause animals, well, not all animals, but there are animals that give birth to eggs. Like their thing, the baby is still in the egg. So in my dream, I have an egg inside of me, like not a egg that wasn't, uh fertilized by a sperm. Is that how you say it? Fertilized. But an egg that was supposed to be a baby, I guess, being grown in my stomach. Third or fourth grade, y'all. Third or fourth grade. So I tell her, I said, so she's performing something on me in the dream where she's taking this out of me. She's taking it out of me. But so in the dream, the way I'm talking to her, because I'm apologizing. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get pregnant. I don't know how I got pregnant. I didn't have sex. Not in real life, nor in the dream. I didn't have sex. How am I pregnant? And she's taking it out of me. Okay? This year was the first time I had a dream that I was pregnant. Couldn't be pregnant. Not that I'm not a virgin. I'm just saying I know that I can't be pregnant. Okay? Not that I can't get pregnant. I'm just saying I know how I've been moving and I know I'm not pregnant. There ain't no way I can be. Okay? So, and that dream was maybe about a month ago or something like that. So I'm like, I'm not scared that am I pregnant? Because I know I can't be, right? So I'm like, okay, wow. But I had a dream. I had a swollen belly. After I start learning more information from Soul Tribe members about, and from spirit and downloads and intuition about energy harvesting, and about the way I've been used as an energetic tool for this family while growing up, whatever ways in there, and oh God, it's so much, y'all, because I now am aware of like these extended family members who, when I realize like that's what they've been on, it makes so much sense. They were taking in kids from the foster care system who were kind of related to family. It's weird, like in different, taking in kids, not liking kids for real, not for real. So why do you want to take in kids for? And then me learning that some of those kids have been through things. One of them, we're very much alike, and she has endometriosis. Again, that part of her body, her stomach. Another one, he has like Crohn's disease or something like that. And they're both younger than me. Where he often has to go to the hospital is something with his stomach. Solar plexus, y'all. identity. Solar plexus, identity. The sun within you. The possible Jesus Christ within you. Like, this is coming to me as a download even right now. Like, that identity within you. Your solar plex. I wasn't pregnant. She wasn't taking a baby out of me. She was taking my identity, y'all. She was trying to take me, my soul, my identity, my solar plexus identity. I think of the sun in our sun sign and astrology, and how that's our main area that people identify us as when they breaking down our astrology. Oh, you're a Aquarius, you're a Leo, you're a Virgo. You know, we have so much more going on in terms of our astrology, just like in our bodies, even more chakras in our bodies. But solar plexus, that's synonymous to our sun sign in astrology. Is huge. It's what is our essence. It's our main essence of who we are. It's the main thing that people see when they see us, when they interact with us on a regular day-to-day basis. Not maybe when we're triggered and you know, triggered into our emotions or something like that, but our main identity, okay? The sun part of ourselves. Literally that. Oh, I could go on and relate this back to Jesus Christ in the Bible. And y'all, I wasn't pregnant. So in my mind, in the dream, she's having me think that I'm actually not in my mind. But okay, so now I think about it, and in the dream, she's having me think that I'm pregnant by taking something out of my stomach, an egg, right? I'm not pregnant. I couldn't be. I wasn't having sex. I'm a little girl. I ain't even had my period. Da 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 da. And I had this. First of all, I already had this fear placed inside of me about getting pregnant. Like, I'm not supposed to get pregnant. She don't want me to ever get pregnant. And that even relates to information that I've been learning. Not wanting me to get pregnant, not wanting me to have kids, or a particular children, or a particular child who's meant to be born into this world for particular reasons, perhaps. But she was taking something from me, y'all. I had that dream 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade. 3rd, 4th, or 5th. And if it was 5th, it was early 5th. I don't think it was 5th. I think it was before 5th. 3rd or 4th grade. I had that dream. She was taking something out of me. And recently, as a 33-year-old woman, more spiritually awakened than ever before, and more detached from them than ever before. Not just now as just a result of other things that had happened, but now by choice. And I have this dream about me being pregnant. Swollen belly. What does this mean? I got my shit back. I got me back. You can't have me. You can't have my identity. You can't have my solar plexus. None of my shit. It's mine's. And I got it back. And now I'm using it to birth my reality. My new reality, my new life. Okay? It's mine. You can't have it. But y'all, like, it's not just the dreams that tell me this. There's more. But now that I'm learning more information, those dreams now make sense. They make sense. You tell me what little girl done had a dream like that. If she ain't going through similar things that I've gone through, are serious, similar hell that I've gone through. You know, that don't make no sense. That was already, I told you, I've been spiritual since day one. That was God speaking to me, letting me know. Like, she thinks she gonna eat off of you for the rest of her life. Like this, literally pulling from your life source. Literally. She think, but you got the dream. Which I showed you in the dream when you was just, yes, a little girl. Yes, I wasn't pregnant in that dream. I'm thinking I'm pregnant. She got me feeling like I'm pregnant. I'm apologizing to her while laying on the counter on my back while she got me open, taking something out of me. And I'm saying I'm sorry for getting pregnant. I'm sorry. I don't know how I got pregnant. Y'all, that might have been when I had the dream. She might have been doing spell work. That might be why I had the dream, because she was probably doing spell work at that time. Listen, y'all, I'm just saying, the spell work, the magic, the sorcery, the spell casting, it ain't foreign to religion. It's actually all embedded up in there. And now I know why I could be going through what I was going through with that family while also being a so-called religious family. Okay, definitely not a spiritual one. But yeah, lots of different dark secrets. Tomorrow's the full moon. I don't know, I'm expecting shit to get revealed, but it's already being revealed within me through Soul Tribe members doing what they supposed to do. Shout out to all of them. Oh my goodness. Chiron, God, what is his name? Chiron Intuitive, something like that. Solara Speaks. There's a couple of Mystic Sunflower. There's so many out here now. My favorite, my love, IE Collective, LLC. IE stands for Intuitive Empress Collective, something like that. But IE Collective, YouTube. This is where I've been finding more of my Soul Tribe members, folks like who are like me, who I really resonate with in the spiritual language. Hell yeah, yeah. And then of course Jesus, yep, who walked a journey. Oh, and peppermint tarot, peppermint, yep, peppermint tarot. Who walked a journey that I whose story was told and I fell in love with at a very young age, and been deciphering and decoding for several years, and still am. But definitely finding lots of similarities between me and that guy, my brother. Okay, okay, that's what he presented himself as. So that's how I feel of him. Okay, other people can do as they please, but his path of detaching from the world, being in the world but not of it, really here in the world to help and save it, and help to have it be saved, to teach and to heal and to do good and recorrect and redirect and all of that, and still get spat on and mistreated and eventually even killed, but was just so devoted to his purpose that he even came back in spirit to keep on just a little bit more before he went away and said, it's on y'all now, like, do what you gotta do. But yeah, that included being separated from his family. Like, and his disciples came. Remember, he was on the cross. His disciples came and said, hey, Jesus, your brother, your mama, your sisters. He said, my brothers and sisters are those who do the work of my Father, the Most High God, Mother Goddess, Father God. Okay, that's what he said. So I'm just saying, and I'm saying it ain't only me doing this. Like I said, my soul tribe is person after person after person. That's like, I've separated from my family. I had to disown my family. We out here, and I love us for real. I do, because that's not an easy path. It's not just about separating, but then it's having to honor your reason why. When opposition rises up and say, you ain't supposed to do that, that's not right, that's not okay, opposition rises up and say that type of shit, and you honor yourself and say, no, I know why, and I know why I'm doing it, and you're not changing my mind. and knowing that you're not wrong, because you know that you're still moving forward in the way of benevolence and goodness for the world in general overall. So thus this is a requirement for me to leave that shit behind and to hold myself in high honor when it comes to such decisions. Get out of my way. All right, get out of my way. You're not telling me, you know. All right, there's been enough time, but 2 hours, yeah. Yeah, I'm capable of. Then held this phone. Well, listen. All right, y'all. This is me documenting my spiritual journey. It's what it's been about. This what it is about, and this what I'm moving forward from. And I guess I was led to talk about that. I didn't have a plan of what to talk about. I didn't know what I was going to talk about, but I guess I was led to talk about that because tomorrow is the full moon, and the full moon's in Scorpio. And it's some deep truths being revealed. That's all I gotta say. Kinda, I guess. Just get ready. Because even if it ain't all revealed tomorrow, when the full moon occurs, full moon energy, first of all, it's already begun and it will still be continuing for some time. So just get ready because Pluto rules Scorpio and Pluto don't play. And I personally kinda like Pluto. I do. So enjoy the full moon, y'all, but I guess I just say, like, be real with yourselves, be real with everybody else, and you gotta make moves to separate yourself from somebody, some people, no matter who the fuck they are, in terms of title or in regards to this matrix. Do what you need to do for you, because at the end of the day, your soul, it's your soul that you are living as and living for and living through and having to take care of, okay, while other people trying to come after your soul. Just know, one thing that I've learned recently, your soul belongs to the Most High God, so you can't even give it away, even if you think that's what you're doing. They can't take it from you, even if they think that's what they doing, because at the end of the day, it's owned. The CEO of your soul is the Most High God. They'd have to go to him, okay, for that. And I'm pretty sure that that's just not a successful thing. People think they're getting away with shit, and it is an illusion, because it is the matrix. All you got to do is connect to your Most High God, the creator, the source of our lives down here on this earth, and the life of earth itself, herself. And just know that that is the ultimate source of power and our life source. So let them think they are allowed to think they're getting away with shit, because their truths must be revealed through their actions, through their decisions, their intentions that they actually act on, okay? And let them do what they gotta do. Let them take the bait. Let them take the bait. Let them try to take the cheese and get their ass trapped the fuck up, because that's all that's gonna happen. That's all that's happening. And I'm looking forward to new life with these types of devils and ill-intentioned wicked folks out of the fucking way. And with them either being surrendered to the Most High God and source and all that is appointed and anointed by them, or they asses is in the dust, turn to salt. And I'm gonna leave it there. Till next time.